Hello, this cartoon will be addressing the first question of my evaluation, which is, in what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? So prior to this task, I did some research on existing hip-hop and R&B products on the market, which is The Source, Hip Hop Connection, Vibe and XXL. And one thing I did notice was the fact that they used a bold sans serif font for the masthead, so I made sure that I included that. So that's one of the first features which conforms to the hip hop conventions. Another thing is I included the names of artists on the left hand side, as you can see on my front cover. I did this because I noticed that most music magazines in general just put names of the artists in a list, especially hip hop and R&B magazines, so that's another feature which conforms to the conventions. I also explicitly state the genres included in my magazine, as you can see on the cell line below the masthead on the left hand side. It says rap never dies, 90s hip hop lives on. Rap and 90s hip hop are two subgenres of hip hop, which is why I included those in my magazine cover. Another thing which conforms to the conventions is the headline above the masthead. I noticed that most R&B magazines did this just so they could get more attention on one of the main articles of the magazine, especially on Vibe. I saw this a lot, and Hip Hop Connection, so I used that feature. I've also included a promotional feature at the very bottom of the page, which is the websites and the links and usernames of the magazine for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and the actual website. So I did this so that the audience knows how to reach out to the magazine franchise externally through social networks, which has become very popular nowadays because it means they can access their Instagram, Twitter and their Facebook, as well as the website on their smartphone, which everyone basically has nowadays. Another way in which my magazine conforms to the conventions is the fact that the main artist on the front cover has her own separate headline, which is much larger than the other cell lines surrounding the image, which is "Nothing phases me, Majesty." I used a pulled quote just to make it look more personalized, because it seems as if she's addressing everybody when they read it. One way in which my magazine subverts the conventions is the fact that if you look on the right hand side, there's an icon with a speaker, and instead of having just a straight linear cell line layout, I just decided to make the cell lines look as if they are sound waves coming from the speaker, which subverts the conventions of a hip hop and R&B magazine. They don't usually do this. I thought it would be a unique touch, so I did it. Another way it conforms is that I used a slogan, which is "just go with it." Since my magazine is called Motion, it would make sense to link the slogan with this idea of movement and progression, so I chose "just go with it" because it sounds appropriate. Another way in which my magazine conforms is the fact that I've included a section which says "up and coming" on the right hand side, and then below it another artist name. I did this because on the focus group someone brought up that they wanted to see who and what is on the rise, so that's like events, artists, and I think that's a very important feature because everyone needs to keep up to date with the actual genre.
created using Powtoon.